when I wash myself, my verb has to be reflexive. Lavar se. That means I'm doing it to myself. So again, I can wash my clothes, I can wash my car, I can wash my dog, or whatever. That would just be lavar. Lavar la ropa. Yo lavo la ropa. Todos las semanas, or something like that. But if I'm washing my hair or my hands, then I would say me lavo, or I'm washing my face, I would say me lavo la cara. And because these verbs are reflexive, we don't need to change our article la to me. It's incorrect to say me lavo mi cara. It's redundant. We know that I'm doing that action to myself, so we just say me lavo las manos or me lavo la cara. We don't need to use possessive adjectives there. Okay, so verbos reflexivos, chicos. So aquí tengo Rosa. These are images from VHL. No me gustan. They're always like very Picasso-y to me. ¿Qué hace Rosa? Rosa se maquilla. Rosa se maquilla. So notice when we conjugate our verb, we take the se off, and we're left with just a regular AR verb, maquillar, right? Maquillar, and this is just present tense. Maquillar, se maquilla. And I just put my el, ella ending on my verb. It's very simple, like hablar, habla. But if Rosa's talking to herself, I would say Rosa se habla, okay? We can make lots of verbs reflexive. Anything you want to convey doing to yourself, you would just add the reflexive pronoun. And like Ethan said, this is when the object is the same as the subject. She's doing it to herself. Se maquilla. ¿Entienden? Because we learned lots of pronouns last chapter, and we're learning more pronouns this chapter, so it gets a little confusing. ¿Qué hace Paco? ¿Cuál es el verbo de vocabulario aquí? El verbo es ducharse, no? So, Paco, how would you say, like he's taking a shower? Se ducha. Excelente, chicos. So we have ducha and se. Both of them are referring to Paco. Reflexivo. Se ducha. And last chapter we learned the preterite tense. So if we wanted to say, he took a shower last night, Paco se, ¿y cuál es un verbo AR, duchar? Es Paco se du anoche. So pasado, pretérito.
Por la noche.
Or anoche, pasado. Paco se duchó. Se duchó, anoche. So what we're learning today, reflexive verbs, I'm presenting them in present tense, but of course they can apply, they can apply to past tense or other tenses that we'll learn, like Paco va a ducharse or se está duchando, por ejemplo. ¿Qué hacen, plural, María y Beatriz? ¿Cuáles son los verbos reflexivos mostrados en estas imágenes? Despertarse, no, despertarse, or levantarse, no? María y Beatriz se levantan. So we still conjugate our AR verb just like we would with hablar. Ellas hablan español, ellas se levantan. So really, we're just adding this little pronoun. And we're still using the pronoun se. So now we can conclude that when we're talking about third person singular, like Paco, we'll use se. Or third person plural, dos chicas, María y Beatriz, we'll still use se. We're still going to use with se. But what do you think we use when we're thinking about yourself? Me, excelente, chicas y también, chicos. ¿Qué hago yo? ¿Cuál es el verbo mostrado aquí? Cepillarse los dientes, ¿no? Cepillarse los dientes. So we would say, like you noticed, me cepillo los dientes. Todas las mañanas y todas las noches. y muchas veces durante el día. Yo me cepillo los dientes como 3 o 4 veces durante el día. Me gusta cepillarse los dientes. When we use these verbs, this will be on the super site, not necessarily the test. Me gusta, ¿cómo se dice me gusta? I like, or prefiero, por ejemplo, I don't want to conjugate my verb after gusta, because my gusta is already conjugated. So I'm not going to conjugate cepillar. I'm just going to leave it alone. But I can't write say because I'm talking about myself. So I'm not conjugating the verb, but I'm changing my pronoun to what? Who am I talking about? Me. So I would say, me gusta cepillarme los dientes 4 veces al día.
It's good.
Oh, sorry. Perdón. Me gusta cepillarme los dientes. No, no tilde. Cepillarme. No, los dientes. So, what do they all have in common? What do all these verbs, why are they all presented together in chapter 7? Because they're all AR, ER, IR verbs even. Because dormir is one. Sí. Su actividad favorita, dormir. But, so they can be AR, ER, IR verbs. The ones up here were AR. What else do they have in common? They all end in, what do they end with? What sound do they end with in your book? Say. And that categorizes the verb as reflexive. And like I said, not every single, you can take a verb like hablar, which means what? To speak or to talk, right? And you can make it reflexive by adding say, if you want to convey what idea? What does hablar say mean? To talk to who? If the subject and the object are the same, oneself. Like, me hablo, I don't know, like, me hablo cuando hago ejercicio. Like, you can do it. Or something like that. Me hablo, reflexivo. Some verbs, though, are always reflexive. Like, if you look up the verb in word reference to figure out what to wake up means, it's going to come up as despertarse, okay? But then it'll also have options with to wake someone else up. Like I sometimes have to wake up my kids, or your parents probably had to wake you up when you were in high school. That wouldn't be reflexive because the subject and object are different. ¿Entienden? La diferencia. So talking about present tense. This is all presented in the present tense. They have what's called a reflexive pronoun, okay? Not an object pronoun. Object pronouns are different. That's what we learned in chapter 6. But you have to remember object pronouns as you learn reflexive pronouns. So really the difference is say. The reflexive pronoun. And like Ethan said, the subject and the object are the same, so they'll agree. If it's the yo form, let's say it's an activity on the super site, and you have to put in the correct reflexive pronouns. If the ending is O, then you know you'll have to use what pronoun? If the ending is O? Yo. Well, that's the yo form, so what pronoun? Me. Exactly. So here are all of our reflexive pronouns. Which pronouns have we seen before? In chapter 6, we saw te, me, nos, and os. So these are all repeat pronouns, which is nice. You don't have to learn new pronouns for that. So really the different ones are what? It's just one. Say. Say. So instead of lay and lace, instead of lo, la, los, and las, you have say. So those third person pronouns are what gets a little confusing. So you have to keep all those straight. Say is reflexive. And you know it's a reflexive pronoun because when you look up the verb in the dictionary or how it's listed in the book, what does it have on it? Cepillarse. Because as we progress in chapter, let's say 201, in chapter 9, when we kick off 201, there will be verbs that have say attached to the infinitive combined with verbs that don't. And you have to know, I'm a reflexive verb. When you conjugate me, you must use a reflexive pronoun that agrees with the subject. Another thing to note is that everything we know about verbs is the same. So vestirse is to get dressed, and it's a stem-changing verb in the present. Also in the preterite, but I don't think you have to know that for the supersite. And I'm not going to make you do the irregular preterites on the test. But the stem changes, make in present tense make the shape of a boot. And dormir can be reflexive or non-reflexive. Dormir, ¿cómo se dice dormir? To sleep. Right, exactly. But when we make dormir reflexive, like dormir se, we change the meaning a little bit to fall asleep. It's very similar. Dormir is to sleep. Dormir se is to fall asleep. So you could say like, oh, es muy difícil no dormirse en mi clase de historia porque mi profesor es muy aburrido, por ejemplo. So it's like really hard not to fall asleep. Or cuando conduzco mi carro y estoy muy cansada, me duermo frecuentemente. Okay, that's different than like duermo cuando conduzco mi carro. That would be like terrible if you just slept while you were driving, no? But me duermo cuando estoy cansada y conduzco mi carro conveys a different idea of falling asleep. Okay, entonces ahora vamos a practicar los verbos reflexivos. Vamos a hacer la actividad en la página 181.